Well, about 50% of Americans do not have life insurance coverage as of 2022. 41% of Americans have medical bills, and 66.5% of all bankruptcies were tied to medical issues. Appreciate it, bro. Thanks for coming. How you guys doing? Good. Are we all blessed? Everybody say aye. Aye. Oh, man. God, first thing I saw when I saw Jose was he gave thanks to God. And this is awesome. I've never seen this. And I said, God willing, this is a blessing group. I think this is my first time being invited, so thank you guys for having me. I did not expect a big turnout like this. So please bear with me if I get a little nervous, It's not every day that you speak around. How many people are in here, like 30, 40?
About 40.
40 people?
35 to 40.
Strong. That just shows how you guys are. But, welcome you guys. This probably is going to take like 25 minutes. Real quick, straight to the point. Have you guys seen the title? It's about how to leverage our income, how to leverage what we're already doing, and how to, basically add more value to our clients, because we're all realtors, yes, for the most part. So who here works at least 8 hours a day? Awesome. Who here works more than 8 hours a day? Shit, right? Me too. I didn't even sleep last night. So imagine we work really hard, right, for all our money, right? We work really, really hard, but imagine not being able to protect it. Like, damn, what's the point, right? It's like going to the gym, you're fasting, you're working out, and you get no gains. Eventually, you're like, what's the point of doing this? So my job here is to basically protect generational wealth and help leverage insurance companies to basically maximize our money and be able to buy more assets. So who here is more interested in, growing more assets or interested in low-hanging fruits? Because who else, it's the most easiest thing to do. So as you guys see on the title, I have a podcast. It's called Educate and Elevate. But for today, it's called Change the Narrative. It's all about how can we add more value to our clients. So a little bit about me, very, very briefly. I'm a registered nurse as well. So I work in the trauma ICU, ED. The only reason I bring that up is because that's my why. You see, I work predominantly in a very Latino, African-American community in Huntington Park. And if you guys ever been around those towns, you see gunshots all the time. You see a lot of people come in the hospital all the time. The reason I got into it was because being in the hospital, you're very treatment-based, right? You're just reacting. I was like, how can I get to the preventative side? And I noticed when many of my patients would come in, they'd be very sad and sick and worried about, oh, my leg is falling off. But they're also worried about who's going to take care of my kids at home? Who's going to pay the bills? What's going to happen to my mortgage? Because we all know, right? If you get sick, the bills don't stop, right? So that was my why. That's why I got into it. Financial strategist, all things financial, from growing your money to protecting your assets. I've helped 59 families this year. My goal is 100. So our mission at the podcast, we're basically a Latino-based media company that focuses on finances, entrepreneurship, and real estate. We're Latino, so 88% of all Latino media outlets are usually Gordo de la Flaca, Telemundo. You got all these gossip. So we need to change it up because that's how we're being looked at. So what are we going to learn today? How is your money being impacted with current U.S. events? What are the 3 ways that your money grows and the 3 ways that you get taxed? How to leverage life insurance to purchase real estate, living trust and wills, and how to provide instant value to your clients. So why are we here? Why this seminar? Well, about 50% of Americans do not have life insurance coverage as of 2022. 41% of Americans have medical bills, and 66.5% of all bankruptcies were tied to medical issues. If you guys look at the last one, the average home nurse is $8,000 a month. The question I always ask people is, would you guys rather have the life insurance company pay for your medical bills, or would you guys rather have to sell your assets, your property, liquidate your savings, and pay for that? Don't pay me out of my pocket being a nurse. Have the life insurance company pay for that. And I'll show you guys why that's important. Now, this is another reason why we're here. Some of the most prominent people in the world don't do financial planning, right? Anybody seen Black Panther before? Yeah. You seen the movie? Handsome young man, 43 years young, died of colon cancer. He died with no will, no living trust. 67% of Americans have no estate planning. You see, you could be the most successful people in the world, but if no one sits down and do what you guys are doing right now, come out on a Friday morning, then at the end of the day, all the hard work, again, why are we working 8 hours if we can't protect it? What's the point? So let's get into retirement planning. What are our savings options? Who here has a savings account? Awesome, you guys. Awesome. All right, so who here has like a 401k, 403s, any of these from our old employers, right? I do as well. Also, we have real estate as well, Roth IRAs, TFRAs, that's a tax-free retirement account, and then you can talk about private lending. So what are the most common retirement strategies, options out there, right? Most often you hear real estate and 401ks. So let's get into a couple things that are going on right now in the U.S. economy that you have to know about. So if you're going to decide to save and invest into anything, you got to know what's going on because you're going to be impacted if you like it or not. Social Security. I don't know if a lot of you folks were thinking about like that's going to be around for me. It's probably not unless they're going to change it. Now, can I get a volunteer to read this? If you're pretty close, boss, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Where's this today?
What percent of the U.S. dollar have been printed in the last year? Today, the Federal Reserve continues to print more money, further devaluating the U.S. dollar and keeping millions of Americans in bondage. Since January 2020, the United States has printed almost 80% of all U.S. dollars that exist, according to some sources, July 11, 2022.
Freaking 80%. So who here got money during COVID or knows someone that got money? Everyone, right? 80% of all U.S. wealth. No, I mean, if you guys wonder why the stock market went crazy and why everyone's real estate, appreciated, they just pumped a bunch of money. So this is good news, but, bad news as well, right? A little alarming. This is the U.S. debt. This is a screenshot of like literally 3 months ago when I did a presentation the other day. This is currently right now. 32 trillion. So, dude, that thing's going up fast. So, that's the U.S. debt. I think it like breaks it down into like whatever you want to look into. So again, my whole job here, I'm not here to sell you guys anything. I'm not here to push anything. My entire goal is just to educate. Because my goal is if I bring awareness to you guys, you're going to be able to bring awareness to everybody else and impact your families. That's the entire goal of this all. So that's going on right now. Now let's get back. I know, it sounds a little bad right now, but
there's hope.
There's some hope. There's some hope, exactly. But I want to ask you guys a question. Considering the Social Security, considering that 80% of all U.S. wealth was actually printed out in the past couple of years, and the U.S. debt, does this make you guys feel that taxes are going to go by a little bit or by a lot in the future?
By a lot.
By a lot? I completely agree with you. So if you look at here, can I zoom in? Okay, very small, but basically in the recent years, this is a graph of the U.S. taxes. So if you look, it's 1970, 1917, like the highest tax rate was in 1962. That was like almost like more than 100%, like 94% was the highest. If you look at today, we're actually one of the lowest taxes. So I agree with you. I'm just showing that you guys are actually right. So if today's the lowest, what do you think is going to happen in the future, right? How you guys said. So let's talk about taxes. If everyone could pull this out, I think everybody has a sheet. So if you guys turn on the back side, you're going to see there's 3 tax boxes. Invest your money into anything you want in the world. You're only going to get taxed 3 ways. Very simple. Keep it very, very vanilla. So the first part is the tax now bucket. Do you guys need anything else? Of course. I got you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Everybody got one of these? Here you go.
Thank you.
All right. Perfect. So the tax now, it's this side. This basically means that you get taxed at the end of the year when we pay taxes or whenever you decide to sell. So does anybody, everyone says they have a savings. Does anybody own real estate or like invested into some type of real estate? Yeah? Awesome. So that's the tax now bucket. Very simple. The tax later bucket, this is where the majority of the U.S. wealth is stored. This is basically saying, hey, Jose, we love you so much, bro. You don't got to pay taxes now. You can pay us later. You're like, yes. You're like, damn, that's good. I don't got to pay taxes now. But we just agreed that taxes are going to go by a lot in the future. So why would you want to basically pay it later? Why don't you want to pay it now? Here's a quick example. What do you shop at, man? What grocery store? Like, Sprouts. I just went to Sprouts to pick up that fruit. All right, so me and you go to Sprouts. So pretend you and I go to Sprouts and we're farmers. And we go to Sprouts, we buy some penny seeds. We buy the penny seeds and we go down to like Long Beach and plant the seeds down in the dirt. These seeds 20, 30 years later have grown into like this $1 million farm, huge farm. Would you rather pay taxes on the seeds that we buy today or 30 years down the road on the $1 million farm that obviously you said taxes are going up? Pay it today, right? I completely agree with you. So if everyone putting their money into this bucket is paying money and taxes on the farm, on the big farm, if you want to learn how to pay money on the penny seeds today, so when your farm grows and you get to enjoy the farm and reap what you work, you invest into this bucket, the tax never bucket. You do the penny seeds now. You see, many people who tell me, Armando, if I invest $1,000 into my savings account, conservative folks, I'm very conservative as well. It's like you want to hold on to your money. You're like, yo, you work way too hard for it. My 12-hour shifts are very long. But the question I'm going to ask you guys is $1,000 today in the bank account $1,000 next year?
No.
Why would you guys say?
Valuation.
If you guys look at this, I'll send you guys this. This is really cool. I found this the other day. The purchasing power of the dollar in 2020. For example, what $1 buys in 1913 was 30 Hershey bars. You just start to see the devaluation of the dollar. Obviously for many reasons, the gold standard, all that stuff. Here's another thing to really emphasize our point. The real value of US dollar decreases by 86% in the last 50 years. I think we all feel it, right? We all kind of know it. We see what's going on. This basically means only alarming because this is one of the three enemies to our money. If you guys look on the paper, the first one is inflation. So basically by doing nothing, you're doing something. Many times, many of our clients, right, or my tia, who's like, Armandito, I don't want to do nothing, right? I just want to be conservative, hold my money. Well, you're actually losing money by doing nothing. Sometimes doing nothing is doing a lot. So again, now that we have to save and invest to outpace inflation, but we know that taxes are going to go up later in the future, which of the three would you guys prefer to invest and save your money into?
Life insurance.
Okay, we got a nice. That's an option. You also have Roth IRAs. Awesome. So yeah, and many. I'll be honest though, we all invest into all of them naturally because real estate is a great appreciating asset. I love real estate, but you also have some great other options that people don't know about. So that's the three ways you get taxed. Real simple. Now let's talk about the three ways that your money grows. So again, you could pick and choose anything you want. There's only three ways that your money grows. Real simple. What's savings account? What's like a common bank that you guys bank at? JP Morgan? Awesome, bro. One of the top banks of the world. What's the interest rate you get at JP Morgan? Crazy, right? So
What's that?
What's that? Exactly. They get you. They take money and you got to pay them to hustle money. I feel that. So that's an example of a fixed rate of return, the blue one, right? You guys are hilarious. That's an example of a fixed rate of return, meaning no matter what happens, you're always set to get that rate of return. The second way that your money grows is variable. That's like a heartbeat, right? It goes up, goes down. You got real estate, stocks, crypto, life insurances, 401ks, right? Everyone knows about real estate. Like, how did real estate do? How's it doing right now? Is it going up? It's going awesome. It's going up. It's a variable asset. Last year it goes down. 2008 it went down, right? The third way your money grows is in this video.
Gains of the market.
It's a minute long. You guys go watch this.
Losses during the bad years. Think about it. Your account will never lose money no matter what the stock market does. Let me show you a quick example. We'll compare an account that is invested directly in the market to one that is indexed. The hallmark of indexing is its ability to eliminate all market risk by implementing a 0% floor so it doesn't lose money even when the market goes down. When the market goes up, the indexed account captures the gains up to the cap, in this example, 12%. Another year of market loss means the indexed account is shielded from that loss because of the 0% floor. In essence, you sit out the bad years. If the market increases 8%, you achieve all 8% because you haven't hit the cap of 12%. Another bad year, you guessed it, you don't lose any money. By avoiding losses, you are never playing catch-up. Here's the actual performance of the S&P 500 since the year 2000 if $100,000 was invested. Now look at the difference in the account balance if we just...
Okay, it always stops there. I don't know why. But did that kind of make sense, that video? Yeah? Is there any questions?
It's like a 4.5% return on that.
On this one?
Yeah.
So it said like basically if 100,000 were invested, within this year, it would have outpaced it. It's like 300 something. But why? Yeah, to your point, because we had a couple crashes, right? 2008, things like that. Did that kind of make sense? I could even kind of reverse it back. Because, let's go ahead and fast forward right here.
Indexed account.
So this is your Roth IRA. This is your IRAs, your 401ks, your real estate, variable, right? Variable growth. This is indexed, meaning when there's a market turn, well, you just stay the same. When there's a market, obviously upswing, like you get 20, 30%, you're not getting the whole amount, you get 12%. So that's kind of the catch, right? I like to put, it's kind of like getting on base every time, but you're not hitting home runs. So it's like a guaranteed, it's like Derek Jeter, right? You're like Derek Jeter. Or it's like LeBron James. You go into the finals, but you might not win the whole thing. So that's what's going on. I'm a Kobe fan. So if you guys want to know, going back to this, now you guys know there's 3 ways that you get taxed, right? Text now, text me later, and then text me now where I don't got a text at all. Now you guys know the 3 ways that your money grows. Fixed, variable, and index. Very simple. So what are the options and which one can you show me? Well, transitioning over, Armando, all right, cool, thank you for the education, but how could I leverage basically an insurance company to buy more real estate? Because I know all the ways the money grows, how do we get taxed, but this is a life insurance policy real simple. You see, there's a pie. There's 3 ingredients that make the pie whole. What's the thing about life insurance that everybody knows? If you die, my mom's gonna get rich. My mom's gonna be rich, right? She's gonna be rich. Everyone knows that one. My kids are gonna be protected, tax-free within a week. So let's not talk about that. Let's talk about the blue part. If you become ill, you see, I'm a nurse. I see it all the time. The quote that I hear all the time when people come in the hospital is, Armando, I never thought it was gonna be me. And I'm like, damn. And I hear it all the time. Now I got kind of immune to it, unfortunately. Because you see, 39% of Americans at one point in life will have cancer. So 1 in 4 people in this room are going to have cancer, unfortunately. I'm just speaking statistics. You see, the question I ask is, you see the money they promised to give my kid? Well, if I ever become ill, they're just going to go ahead and give me that money to me while I'm living. So I don't have to die to use the money. You see, the question I asked you guys in the beginning is, would you guys rather have life insurance pay for those medical bills, or would you rather just have to sell your house, right? 66% bankruptcies are caused because of medical illness. So again, that was the reason why I got into this industry, was because I was like, man, if my tia knew about this before she had diabetes or before my family got sick, because once you get sick, it's a lot more expensive. But if my family knew about this, then the people that walk into the hospital bed and are stressed out about, not even about their health, they're more stressed out about things at home, their financial, this would have protected them. And the third part of it is if you live too long. That's basically the investment portion of it. So here's the play. On the top left, that's me. That's when I bought my first property, like two years ago. Basically, the play is that you use your work, whatever you do, real estate, nursing, whatever it may be. You use that work, and let's say you supplement $1,000 a month into a policy. You put into a policy that says $12,000 a year. The $12,000 gets broken up. $10,700 goes into the investment portion of it, where it grows 6 to 8% interest rate. Over 5 to 10 years, you've accumulated around $20,000 to $40,000 in just pure interest, not including your principal. The other part of it goes to the cost of insurance, the fees, and it's covering the death benefit because it's life insurance. Remember the pie. So that money is tax-free. You guys remember the tax exempt, right? You could pull from that money after a year of the policy anytime you like, and it's completely tax-free. You pull that money out, you reinvest it, you earn interest. It's tax-free withdrawals. You can pull it. There's no like, what are you going to do with the money? No credit checks, none of that. And you buy another real estate or you invest it. So who here has had clients before in the past where they saw the perfect house, like, but they don't have enough capital, right? Who here has had a client who damn, this house will be perfect, but they can't qualify? All the time, right? Imagine now that you're giving them another opportunity where now it's like, hey, invest your money into this and you can pull from this anytime. People say it's like a 401k, right? 401k is a form of a down payment. If we need it to be, well, you got to pay that money back. You never have to pay this money back. Never. And yeah, the 401k is cool because you do actually pay yourself back with interest, but there's fees involved. This, by pulling it out, no fees, and the money keeps on growing for you even when you pull the money out. Go ahead, sir.
That's what is basically considered what's the notes? That's the infinite banking concept.
That's the infinite banking concept.
Okay.
You see, when we go into Chase Bank and we deposit $1 into them, they go ahead and what? Lend it out, right? That's why we saw these bank runs. When you invest $1 into a life insurance company, By law, they had to have $4 of reserves in their account. So look up the difference on how many life insurance companies actually go out of business during a big recession versus banks. You're going to see a drastic difference. So that's the play of the real estate. Now, the third part of what we want to talk about is, well, how could I provide value to my clients right now, right? How could I make money, or how could I, obviously we're always looking for excuses to call our clients, right? So it's like, what could I do right now and not have to work any extra harder? This is a client that we closed on. She bought a house for $500,000, down payment of $15,000. The loan amount is $475, right? It's a big liability. It's Emma, Ralph, and then their baby daughter, which is like 5 years old. So the baby daughter, let's just go ahead and name her like Kim. Kim, God forbid, if the parents were to pass away, you think Kim is going to be able to take on a loan of $475? She don't even work, right? She's not going to qualify. So what happens if the parents, God forbid, pass away, and what happens to Kim? Does she get the house? Foreclosure, right? Has anybody had a probate case, anything like that? So how was the process? How lengthy was it?
It's slow, long, and you're really subject to the time frame of the court.
So like, what would you say, like a year, 6 months, 3 months?
Longer than that.
Longer than that?
Yeah.
What about the cost of probate?
There's also fees involved.
Falls as well?
Support costs, attorney fees, and of course also carrying costs for whatever property's in there.
Wow. So that's a lot, right, for little Kim,
Absolutely.
who's 5 years old? So you being a realtor, imagine you calling your client and saying, hey, I know you love your family, I love mine too. I wish someone would have done this to me, so I'm doing it to you. Oh, shoot. One of the things that you could easily do is offer them mortgage protection. Mortgage protection is basically a term life insurance policy that covers just the loan of the house. For example, in this example, a 33-year-old male, Ralph, he's paying less than $50 a month for for basically the house. God forbid anything were to happen to him, the house gets paid off. God forbid he gets in a hospital, doesn't have to die. Well, they're just going to give him that amount, the $500,000, while he's living. So he doesn't have to die to use it. Going back to Kim, a living trust would have saved that. I would have saved that. This is an example if you don't do any of this stuff and you just walk out of here and just carry on with your days and take no action, right? God forbid, you see this, right? Well, I see every day. You want to probate. Little Kim is sad, and now you get a notice of default. House goes into foreclosure because she can't qualify. This is, of course, you take action right now. You go ahead and call me, and we can set up because we do living trust as well. You see, you avoid probate. I put $10,000, but bro, it could be more than that, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah? Crazy. So you set up a living trust. We work with a company that for a single individual is $1,600. For married, it's like $1,800. If you have multiple properties, it's one living trust, and you just add a deed. You just deed it into it. Mortgage, you set up the mortgage protection. Now little Kim, unfortunately, is sad, but at least now she has a home. Something that her parents have worked, again, going back to the point, we work our ass off, 8 hours a day. What's the point of working so hard if we don't protect it? This is a little bit of value that you guys, I just did for you guys, like Roth IRA versus the IUL, the life insurance policy. These are just like little nuggets I just added towards the end. And then this is a trust. A revocable versus an irrevocable trust, which is important to know. So do you guys know the difference between a trust and a will? Mm-hmm. Yeah? So a will still goes to probate. A trust avoids probate entirely. And then many people talk about, anybody have kids in here? Yeah? I have a dog. I don't have a kid, but survivorship. If the kid is less than 18, you think that Uncle Juan is going to take care of your kid, but really the court decides. That's why it's also important. That's why I said it's something you could easily do for your clients right now. You guys, have all had clients. You could offer a living trust. You could offer mortgage protection for them. These are all things that you could offer value to your clients right now and give them a call and let them know, like, hey, this guy Armando came to the office today and he's talking some serious shit. Like, you got to get this right now because you never know. And that's about it. So there's a QR code. I'm actually going to raffle away as well. I think if you guys put your card in there, I'm going to raffle away like a $50 gift card so you guys can spend it for like the weekend. But do you guys have any questions so far?
Can I get that flyer?
Yeah, absolutely, brother. Oh, you should have told me. The whole time. I know. Thank you. If you guys have any questions, I'm going to stick around. All right. You become your own bank.
You become your own bank.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that concept.
Okay, sounds good.
And
Thank
then
you.
the other one that people ask about, how do I protect my house in terms if I pass?
Is it the home warranty? No,
No,
no, no, it's not.
So I
Yeah.
got your info. And then